The village of Ejisu was beautiful to look at with green trees and fresh waters. But the people living there were very unkind. Everybody minded their business. If you fell on the road, nobody would help you. If you were hungry, nobody would give you food. They treated strangers badly. And even among themselves, there was no love. But in that same village lived a young lady called Adobia. She was in her early 20s. She was the only child of her mother. From a young age, Adobia had known that her mother had very little. But in spite of that, her mother taught her daughter to be a good person. At 15, she started a petty trade where she sold foodstuff at the market. She was very kind to everyone she came across. But the people of Ejisu took advantage of her kindness. They would buy things from her and refuse to pay. Some would send their children to collect pepper and act like they forgot. If she asks for her money, they would insult her and call her names. "My daughter, don't let the wickedness of people change your good heart. The gods are watching. One day your kindness will save you," her mother would always tell her. One hot morning, Adobia was on her way to the market with a basket of vegetables on her head. The sun was very hot that day and the dust made it hard to see clearly. As she reached the lonely part of the road, she saw an old woman sitting by the roadside. The woman looked very weak. Her clothes were torn and her feet was bleeding. Many people had passed by, but no one stopped to help her. Her heart was moved. She ran close and greeted the old woman. "Good afternoon, Mama. What are you doing here under this hot sun?" The old woman looked up slowly and said, "My daughter, I tripped, fell and hurt myself." Immediately, Adobia dropped her basket, opened it, and brought out a bottle of water. She cleaned the bleeding with water and tied a clean piece of cloth around it. "I'm thirsty. Please, can I have a drink of water?" She gave her a cup of water. The old man drank from it and thanked her. Adobia offered to help her walk, but the woman refused and said her son will be along shortly. She thanked Adobia for her kindness and urged her to go. That day at the market was like every other day in Ejisu. The sun was high in the sky. The air was dusty and the market was full of noise. Traders shouted as they called customers. Women bargained prizes and little children ran up and down chasing each other. Adobia sat quietly at her store, arranging her pepper and tomatoes. It wasn't a big store, but it was enough to keep her and her mother alive. As she sat and waited for customers, she prayed in her heart for the day to bring good sales. It was past midday when Adobia heard loud noises coming from the other side of the market. She looked up and saw a small crowd gouging around the commotion. Her heart began to beat fast. "What is it again?" she thought to herself. She stood up and hurried toward the commotion. As she pushed through the crowd and got closer, what she saw shocked her. "Thief! Thief! Shameless old woman! People like you should be chased out of this village." It was the same old woman she had helped by the roadside that morning. The poor woman was sitting on the ground looking weak and confused as some of the women held sticks and threatened to beat her. Without thinking, Adobia rushed to her side. "Mama, what happened?" Before the old woman could reply, a trader named Araba stepped forward and pushed away while she shouted what she thought was an explanation. "Look at this woman. She came to my shop saying she wanted to buy yam and vegetables. When I told her the price, she said she didn't have enough money. She begged me to reduce the price, but I told her no. Then she started pleading with me to give her the food that she will pay the balance next week. In this market, we sell to people who pay immediately, not later," one of them said. The other women hissed and shouted. "People like you are the ones that will steal from people's shop and swear they didn't touch it." Another added, "You can't just come here and start making requests. Things are hard for everybody." Adobia stood beside the old woman spoke. "Mama, please. It's all right. Don't be angry. I'll pay for whatever she wanted to buy." But some of the women nearby began to complain. The insults came from every corner. Some even picked up sticks and stones threatening to beat Wu, and the old woman together stood her ground shielding the old woman. "Why you like to put yourself inside another person matter? Is it everything you must involve yourself in?" Adobia did not argue with them. She quietly asked, "How much is it?" "Rabba, 100 sadies. Rabba replied. Adobia quickly returned to her store, picked the little money she had made that morning and brought it to Araba. Please take. Let this matter end. Araba collected the money, grumbled, and quietly went back to her store. The other traders looked at Adobia and shook their heads. This girl, she is crazy, one of them said, but Adobia ignored them. She turned to the old woman and held her hand. Mama, come and sit in my store and rest for a while. The old woman looked at her with kind eyes. And though she was tired, she managed a small smile. Thank you, my daughter. May your kindness never go unnoticed. Adobia smiled back. She helped the old woman to her feet. Even after Adobia paid Araba, the market women were still not appeased. They stood around grumbling and mourning among themselves. This we too they do like moo. Imagine paying for this old woman where she goes even more. Some of them shook their heads and looked with pity while others spoke openly and without shame. The old woman, who was now in tears, looked up. Her face was tired and her eyes were red, but there was a small smile on her lips. My daughter, she said, you have done more than enough for me today. May the heavens remember you. She reached into the small ragged bag she carried with her. The bag was so old that parts of it had torn. From inside the bag she brought out something. It was a single old worn-out shoe. The color had faded, the leather was cracked, and the buckle was broken. She stretched it out and she said, "It may not look that much, but it carries blessings for the one with a clean heart." When she looked at the shoe, it wasn't much of a gift. What would she do with just one old shoe? It wasn't even a pair. "Mama, thank you. But you don't have to give me anything," she said gently, trying to push the shoe back into the old woman's hand. But before the old woman could reply, the market woman burst into laughter, saying, "Gift? After everything she did for you, now this is the shoe you give her? Mama, you didn't try at all." Another woman said, "See who gave somebody one shoe as a thank you." Some people even point out at the old woman and make fun of her. This is the kind of woman that will square market for people. Maybe she wants to use the shoe to do something. Adobia let her collect it. The old woman wiped her tears quietly, still holding the shoe towards Adobia. The laughter and mocking continued. Adobia could feel her face burning with shame. She didn't know whether to walk away or to continue defending the old woman, but something in her heart told her to be calm. The old woman still said nothing. She only looked at Adobia with soft, tired eyes, still holding the shoe out as a gift. Adobia stood there for a moment, looking at the old worn-out shoe in the woman's hand. Deep inside, she didn't want to take it. It wasn't much, and he didn't even have a pair. But the old woman's face was gentle, and something about her eyes made Adobia's heart soften. And though the market women laughed and mocked, reluctantly she reached out and accepted the shoe. "Thank you, Mama," she said gently. Immediately she collected it. The market women burst into even louder laughter. "Jazz collects shoe. This girl doesn't have sense at all. Maybe she will wear it to church tomorrow." They pointed at Adobia, laughed, and continued making their comments. As they returned to their stalls, said nothing. She quietly went back to her own store with the old woman following behind her. She helped the woman sit down for a while before she finally stood up and left the market. All through the afternoon, we had to endure the market women. Some would pass by and laugh. Others would greet her with fake concern. "Ooh, how markets say your new should be okay." It was tiring, but she forced herself to focus on her business. She didn't even make much sales that day, and her heart was very heavy. By evening, when the sun began to go down and the market started closing, she packed the little things left and hurried home. She was just glad the day was finally over. When she got home, she met her mother cooking by the fire behind their small house. "Welcome, my daughter," her mother greeted. "How was market today?" Didn't say anything. She just dropped her basket, sat down. After a long sigh, she began to tell her mother everything from the old woman sitting along the road and how she paid for her food and how the woman gave her an old shoe as a thank you. She brought out the shoe and showed it to her mother. Her mother looked at the shoe, then burst into laughter. "Who you found?" "Mama, I don't even know what to do with it." Look at how the whole market laughed at me today." Her mother shook her head with a smile and drew closer. "My daughter, don't let their laughter trouble you. It's not the size or beauty or the gift that matters. It's the thought and the heart behind it. That old woman gave you what she had with good intention. That's what counts." She picked up the shoe, looked at it again, and placed it on a small stool in the corner. Who knows? Sometimes things we overlook are the ones that surprise us with the most blessing. Her mother said. "Who is again feeling a little better?" "I just want to forget today, Mama." "You will, my daughter. Tomorrow will be better," her mother said, patting her shoulder. They both finished their meal quietly. That evening they gist a little and went to bed. 2 days later, the old woman came to the market again. This time she didn't stop at the entrance or wander around like before. She walked straight to Adobia's store. When Adobia looked up and saw her, she was surprised. "Mama," she said, standing up quickly. The old woman smiled faintly. "Yes, my daughter," who greeted her warmly and brought out a stool for her to sit on. "Please sit down, Mama. What brings you to the market again today?" The old woman adjusted her cloth, sighed deeply before speaking. "My daughter, years ago I lost my husband. He died suddenly and left me and her only son with nothing. Since that day, life has been very hard for us. My son has been struggling to take care of us. Some days we eat, some days we don't. I came today to beg you for a little help, just to buy food for me and my son." Felt her heart ache. She did not have much herself. What she had was what she and her mother depended on. But looking at the old woman's face, she knew she couldn't turn her away. She went into her basket, bought out some food items, and added a little money to it. "Mama, this is all I can give you for now. Please manage it." The old woman held the items with both hands. Her eyes filled with tears. "May God never leave your house, my daughter," she said. Every day the woman will come to the market and sit with Adobia. She did not beg again. She just kept her company. Sometimes she helped arrange the goods on the table. Other times she sat quietly, watched the people pass, and sometimes she would tell Adobia stories about the past, about life and about patience. On days when needed to run errands for her mother, she will leave the stall in the old woman's care. "Mama, please watch my stall. I'll be back shortly. Go on, my daughter. I'm here," the old woman will reply. And strangely, whenever the old woman stayed at the store, customers came in plenty. People who had never bought from her before would suddenly stop by. Some would buy in bulk. Some will pay without arguing. Most days she sold out everything she bought. Other market women began to notice. "What is your secret?" "Mass, your business suddenly changes." But she only smiled. She didn't know what to say. But one thing was clear. Since the old woman started staying with her, her business began to improve. Every day she shared her lunch with the old woman. And before she left the market, she would always pack some foodstuff for her to take home. But the market woman did not stop talking. See how she follows that old woman. It's like she has adopted her as a mother. Maybe she has forgotten the woman that gave birth to her. Some even laughed openly whenever Mama was around. She heard everything but pretended not to care. She kept smiling and minding her business, but deep inside it hurt her badly. She wondered why the people of Ejisu were so immune to kindness. Why helping someone always attracted gossip instead of respect. Still, she didn't change. Then one day something happened. Mama did not come to the market. Adobia didn't think much of it. She assumed that she would arrive later in the day. But as the hours passed and the sun climbed higher, she kept looking up from her stall, expecting to see the old familiar figure walking towards her. But she didn't come. By midday, she began to worry. "Mama has never missed a day," she said. She imagined different things that may have happened. Maybe the old woman had fallen sick. Maybe she was too weak to walk. Maybe something bad had happened on the road. The market women noticed too. "So your mama didn't come today?" one of them asked as she laughed. Maybe she fell ill and couldn't wake up. Or maybe she lost her way to the market. Some laughed as they spoke like it was a joke. Adobia felt her chest tighten. She didn't answer them. She hated the way they spoke so lightly about someone's life. All through that day, she couldn't concentrate on herself. She saw Little kept looking at the road, hoping to see the old woman. But evening came and Mama still didn't show up. As she packed her things to go home, she made up her mind that if Mama didn't come the next day, she would find a way to look for her. And so she did. 5 days she went around the town asking about Mama, but no one seemed to know and no one seemed to care. Some of the women waved her off, that old woman. Maybe she's dead. Others laughed. She must have gone back to where she came from. Why are you even bothering yourself? Some spoke without feeling. She went home sad each day. Her mother tried to comfort her. My daughter, maybe her son is doing better now and taking care of her. That is also possible. Adobia nodded slowly. It was possible. And she held on to that hope. Every night she prayed quietly that Mama was safe and well. Then one morning she was arranging her gifts at the market when she suddenly heard people going quiet. Some traders stopped talking. Others stood up to look. A woman had just walked into the market. She was well dressed. Her cloth was clean and expensive. Her blouse shone in the sunlight. Beautiful ornaments rested on her neck and wrists. She walked with confidence. As she came closer, Adobia had skipped. It was Mama. But she looked nothing like the poor old woman she had been helping for weeks. She dropped what she was doing and rushed forward. "Mama," she cried as she hugged the woman tightly. "I thought something bad had happened to you." Mama held her and smiled. "My daughter, I am fine." The whole market stared. The market women looked at one another in disbelief. Is that not the same old woman? What is going on? Mama gently held Adobia's hands and led her to the stall. "Sit down, my daughter. Let me tell you my story." The market went quiet as people pretended to mind their business but listened closely. "I was never poor," she said calmly. "I am Nana Sika's widow." "Nana Sika," some of the women exclaimed. Mama nodded. "My husband was the humblest man. He was very kind to everyone, but no one truly knew how wealthy he was because he never showed it." She paused, smiled, and continued. "After his death, our only son asked for his inheritance. He sold the house and lands and took the money he thought was everything and left me. He abandoned me and moved to another town." Some of the women covered their mouth in shock. "After that, no one remembered me. No one came to check if I was alive. He left me and lived alone on the outskirts of town." Adobia listened. Mama looked into her eyes and continued. "For many years, I hoped and prayed that one day my son will return. It's been so many years. Soon I will join my ancestors. So you see, I have no need for all that money. What I wanted was to know if there was still a kind soul in her, someone who would help another person without expecting anything in return." She smiled softly and said, "And I found you." She hugged her again. "Thank you for taking care of me when you thought I had nothing." The market women stood still. Some looked ashamed. Some avoided eye contact. "So Nana Sika's widow is still alive. We thought she died after the son sold everything," someone whispered. Mama turned to Adobia. "My daughter, I want you and your mother to come and visit me." Adobia nodded slowly, still trying to understand what she had. Adobia and her mother went to visit Nana Sika's widow just as she asked. She lived alone in the mother's house at the outskirts of Ejisu. Nana Sika's widow welcomed them warmly. She cooked for them herself and they all sat together and ate. Adobia's mother listened quietly as the old woman spoke about her life, her husband, and the years she spent living alone. "Mama, you shouldn't be alone by yourself," Adobia's mom argued. Mama hesitated, but after much persuasion, she agreed. A few years later, they built a bigger house where the three of them lived together peacefully. Adobia and her mother took very good care of Mama until her last day. When the people of Ejisu saw how Adobia and her mother's life changed so quickly, they were amazed. Some remembered how they once mocked her kindness, how they once cheated on her, and how she remained good to people despite how badly she was treated. Slowly, they began to understand and run up to the idea of kindness even when there was nothing to be gained. They learned that kindness is never wasted, that hostility only brings loss, and that sometimes the greatest blessings come disguised as nothing. And perhaps the lessons they learned would shape their lives and the lives of their children for generations to come. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I hope you learned something. Please let us know in the comments what you learned from this story. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Happy New Year! Thank you so much for sticking with me in 2025. Welcome to 2026. And I pray that 2026 will meet us all at our point of needs. Thank you so much. I love you all. And I'll see you soon in my next story.